ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has the latest. With the government shutdown looming, Democrats and Republicans
Okay, I
are
have
in
an
standoff.
extremely brief amount of time to live stream.
The White House warning federal
So,
agencies that mass violence
unfortunately,
could be coming. In the event Democrats
sort of
decide
a
to
bunch
shut
of
down
stuff
government,
happened
Senate
after I
Minority
spoke to my
Leader Chuck Schumer
therapist. So,
dismissing the threats.
right as luck would
Donald
have it.
Trump has been fighting federal workers
So,
since day one. Now the
I
government
guess
doesn't care. This is nothing new and has nothing to do with
Brian
funding
will
the
be
government.
needing to go
Republicans
into a
control the House and
CSS. That's what he
Senate, but
discussed with
funding
his
bills
social
require
worker that's
60
not a
Senate votes to
psychologist.
pass, meaning at least some Democrats
Okay.
will have to get on board.
So just so that
Democrats say
everyone
they won't
knows,
back the
this
funding deal
Volunteers
without
of
popular
America,
concessions.
they will lie
They're
to
pushing
you,
for
and that's
bills
not a
to
place to
Medicaid
take
cuts
your
to
family
realize
member.
one big beautiful bill, and they want
Okay.
to extend expiring
I was
Obamacare
told he
tax
was getting a
credits. The spending
psychologist.
package
It's a
would
social
invest an
worker.
estimated $1.4 trillion
And I
over
would
10
suspect that
years.
the provider is
Democrats
probably a
open
nurse
house
practitioner
for
that's not
demand.
board certified and didn't look at his medical record.
Trump canceled the meeting,
Okay.
calling their demands ridiculous.
So since he was released from Spalding, he's acquired 3 more medications that he's not supposed to be taking because of his brain injury, and he's a drug addict. Okay. And then he mentioned he can get Adderall from this person too because the person asked him about it. And then the social worker started talking about going into CSS in response to being street homeless. And these people also did not like the fact that I had a POA and a healthcare proxy. Okay. They don't want me involved in any of his mental health or medical treatment. Okay, so I'm not doing a battle war over a primate with a bunch of primates. Okay, so in the calmest, nicest of ways, I've begun discussing with him that he should probably do that. Okay, any opportunity for housing he should probably take, whether that's in CSS, a halfway house, a bed and a shelter. And that I will make sure he gets to his Social Security appointment. And hopefully he'll get Social Security. Animals will spell money they can control. And as a primate, he'll be happy in that system. Things that don't make sense, like a medication that makes you even more impotent, and then stating that you're not having sex because we're sleeping outside and we're here when we just spent 6 weeks alone in a campground. Okay. So the man clearly does not want to be married. He's just frightened because he's homeless and he has mental health problems. And I've prevented him from drinking again for 3 months. And he feels that he'll drink when he's not with me. Okay, he has no caring about my well-being. As everyone knows, the multiple times he's abandoned me outside to die. So that's just a nonsense in the head. The constant like shaking of the leg and stuff, and he's always agitated. He's a frightened primate that doesn't have a monkey group to go into. Not he's a married man. He doesn't want to have any type of regular, sober melody in his brain, and he doesn't want to have sexual urges at all. So clearly I don't attempt anything like that with him anymore because he becomes violent. It's unfortunate when someone transfers their mother onto me. Okay. That's not what I signed up for. So, and then, like I said, I'm the fault of everything. And then these people that are the culprits maintain their hero status in the primate's head. There's something wrong with the doctors at Mass General in Spalding for taking him off of those things. He's already cycled out of, he can't be on it because of his brain injury. because of these people that just gave him more drugs and said those things to him. Okay, so now that's all it takes is one person to reinforce your mental insanity. Okay, so I had the chance to explain it to my sister. She just goes, okay, so he's a lost cause at this point in terms of that. Okay. When you start saying that medical doctors and psychiatrists don't know what they're talking about, and social workers and people that can write a prescription do because they give you drugs. So there isn't really a caring anymore about the brain injury. That worked for a certain amount of time. The median age that women tie the knot is 28, up from age 25, nearly 2 decades ago. I can only hope to get back into the shelter I was in, and to get my Social Security. Clearly, I don't want to just abandon a person, but he got the text where I explained that I don't want to do the trip anymore. It's been completely ruined, and that I can't explain why. I don't think that's needed. So, planes, trains, and automobiles is not going to happen. It's a couple's trip, and we're not a couple. So, what I've had to endure since March of 2023, no person should have to. So, it reveals a lot about your system and how sick your people are, yes, and what's actually happening to people. Like I said, they lied. It's a social worker, it's not a psychologist. So all that person is going to do is talk about social work issues, not give him psychotherapy. He's never going to receive psychotherapy. CSS, to him, that's an excuse to go drink and then go back to Gavin. He already said something about Gavin, and then how's he going to get cigarettes? Okay, so that's the result of 3 sessions with the social worker. He's already been given the green light to use and to go back to a detox. And already talking about how I told him not to go to CSS, so that's my fault. And the cop got him kicked out of the halfway house. They're just reinforcing his mental insanity because they're mentally insane themselves. You can bring your own phone if you want. 7. Also, your number. Bring that too. 8. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay. It's my phone. All he does is sleep, and now it'll be even worse with even more of that medication. So I'm not dragging a zombie around and being responsible for it. That would be a person that you need to put in SRO if that's your plan of what you're going to do to him, is just allow him to take medication and sleep 24 hours a day. Okay? You didn't even put me in housing to be able to sit at a constant wake till the person finally dies, so that's your responsibility. Okay, so.
Well, Diane, FBI Director Kash Patel just posted on his X account detailing a little bit more about this suspect. He said that there was an alleged note left by the shooter. It said, quote, hopefully this will give ICE agents real terror.
That's about it. I don't know what I'm going to do yet about my trip because I have till October 6th, and clearly I've put out a shit ton of money I'm not getting back. So, and I don't know about the shelter until after that date. So I have to make a decision about it before that date. I've attempted to try to get the shelter. Their schedule is their schedule.
And it all kind of happened yesterday morning at 6:47.
I wouldn't even have booked that trip. I wouldn't book that ship. It was all because of Brian. It was supposed to be a couple's trip. Christmas in New York, all of it. Planes, trains, automobiles, the shower curtain guy, surprises. None of that has any meaning to him.
Well, they're keeping all that kind of close to the vest as it is operational security. But the Department of Homeland Security makes the point that there was and continues to be 1,000% increase in threats against ICE agents. The acting ICE director, Diane.
Anyway, my sister was kind enough to let us come here for a couple of days because, as you know, it's like raining for a couple of days. It didn't rain as much as they said, but we won't be here that much longer for obvious reasons, and he has an appointment. So I'm stuck in it until I just pray to God for me that I get into that shelter. Okay. He's got a couple more sessions with his therapist before that shelter opens, and hopefully plans will be made about what to do.
So Turkey is one of many U.S. allies in recognizing a Palestinian state. President Trump equates that to giving it to Hamas's ransom demands. So how is that impacting these conversations now about how to end the war in Gaza?
The only thing I can fathom about why God would put me through this is so the public knows what's actually going on your land piece and how horrifying it is. Okay. They're neutering their males. It's just a constant dominance. They don't believe in psychotherapy. That's why they're all social workers.
After the meeting, Erdogan said it was fruitful, and the president's special envoy for the Mideast said that he was very hopeful that there could be a.
So I've got some things I got to do. I got to take a shower so I can do laundry because we've been in the same clothes for like 3 days. I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better. I still have sort of like a hacking cough. My neck still hurts. But so far today, I don't feel like as fluish like I was. Like my body was clearly fighting something. I'm under a tremendous amount of stress. A lot of emotional things going on. Real life things, I should say, like being street homeless and using a toilet. And, living day to day. The storage, increased the price of the storage. So just a few things.
It's only a handful of countries that are still buying oil and gas.
The nonsense on the TV about telling MBTA workers to block me from getting to a toilet by not letting me get on a train, not letting me get to my storage so I can change my clothes or get to the services like doctor's appointments, therapist appointments, clothing.
We haven't seen a similar action taken against Turkey at this point, but we'll see if that is something that the president is asked about.
Things are very stressful.
The pressure he puts on everyone, because again, they have a very good relationship, and there are a lot of other economic ties between the two countries that the president.
I don't get depressed, and I don't transfer reality into other things. I just don't. I guess maybe in a sense that's bad for me. Just a completely sober person.
What are you watching for there? J.D. Vance yesterday, the vice president, said that this wasn't a shift by the president. He said it was just a recognition of the reality of what's happening right now in the war. But Diane, when you look at
so the live stream works on this.
He was talking about land swaps, saying that this is what was necessary in order to reach a peace agreement. Now he is saying Ukraine can win this war and win back all of the territory.
All right, I got to do a couple of things, like I mentioned, shower and do laundry.
Why does he think Ukraine can win the war at this point? Was it something that